This reaction happened in less than a fifth a second. No boxer before him could move like this. Stay till the end. Because what made Muhammad Ali's reflexes possible breaks how most people understand human reaction time. Average human reaction time to a punch is about a quarter second. Ali's fast twitch fibers cut that number nearly in half. That gap is the entire difference between getting hit and never being touched. Fast twitch fibers fire almost instantly, but they fatigue fast too. Most fighters can't sustain that speed past a few rounds. Ali trained a nervous system that refused to slow down. Watch this footwork. This isn't just speed, it's rhythm. He called it floating for a reason. His feet barely touched canvas. That rhythm confused opponents' timing before a single punch landed. This all traces back to his visual motor processing speed. His brain identified a punch trajectory milliseconds faster than average. Without that edge, none of his footwork or speed would matter. Reflexes alone don't explain his most famous fight. There's a second system, one connected to breathing, that almost nobody talks about. That's coming up next. System 2, his breathing. Most fighters breathe reactively. Ali trained rhythmic breathing that synced perfectly with his footwork. That sync is what let his reflexes stay sharp for 15 rounds straight. Shallow breathing floods muscles with lactic acid faster. That's why most boxers slow down dramatically after round 8. Ali's deep diaphragmatic breathing delayed that fatigue by rounds. This is the rope-a-dope. Everyone thought he was trapped. He wasn't tired. He was controlling his breathing while absorbing hits. That's not defense. That's biological deception. While absorbing hits, his controlled exhale reduced impact transfer to organs. A tensed, braced body absorbs punishment differently than a panicked one. His opponent, George Foreman, punched himself into exhaustion instead. By round 8, Foreman's punches lost nearly half their power. Ali's breathing system had drained him without ever landing the finishing blow, but reflexes and breathing still don't explain his chin. System 3 is the one that made him nearly impossible to knock out. It's not about being tough. It's about specific bone density most fighters don't have. You need to see this. System 3, his jaw. Doctors called it structurally unusual. A thicker mandible and dense cranial bone meant shockwaves dispersed differently. This is why he absorbed punches that ended other fighters' careers. Neck muscle stiffness also plays a role. It limits how far the head snaps back. Less head rotation means less rotational force hitting the brain. Ali combined dense bone with trained neck stiffness, a rare combination. Watch him take this shot directly. No stumble, no wobble. Most fighters would have gone down. He barely blinked. That's not just toughness. That's genetics meeting relentless training. He also trained neck bridges obsessively, a wrestling technique most boxers ignore. That built stabilizing strength them never even teach. A weak neck turns a survivable punch into a fight-ending one. But even the best chin has a limit, and Ali found his. Years of accumulated impact eventually caught up with his nervous system. So what happens when the science runs out? System 4 is about a fight most people misunderstand completely. It wasn't reflexes or power that beat him there. It was something nobody could train for. That's next. System 4, his mind. The one system no scan can fully measure. Against Foreman, everyone expected him to lose in round 1. What he did instead rewrote boxing strategy forever. Cortisol under pressure impairs decision-making in most people instantly. Elite fighters train to suppress that response. Ali mastered it completely. A calm brain processes options. A panicked brain just reacts. He talked to Foreman mid-fight. Calm. Almost casual. That wasn't showmanship. That was a calculated psychological attack. Every word was designed to make Foreman question his own power. Every wasted punch Foreman threw drained glycogen he'd never recover in time. By round 8, his muscles were running on fumes. Ali's calm conserved energy. Foreman's rage burned through his. Round 8. Foreman, exhausted, dropped his guard for a split second. That's all Ali needed. 5 precise punches, perfectly placed. Foreman went down. The fight nobody thought he could win, won. 4 systems, 1 legendary mind. That's the complete science. But there's still one question worth answering. Stick around for the last few seconds. Reflexes, breathing, bone density, mind. Who should I break down next? Comment below. Subscribe for Combat Science Explained every week.